6 years ago, in the heart of Fortitude Valley, a bold vision took root. A vision to transform learning into something deeply human. This wasn't about classrooms or curriculum. It was about connection. In collaboration with the learner first, this journey became one that redefined what success means for students, educators, and communities alike. In this video, we hear from two of the founding leadership team members for Fortitude Valley about some of the intentional work they did to build their community of agile learners who are bold, resilient, and kind.
When I was appointed here and I had nearly 18 months, we just had this remarkable opportunity to actually live out the education brief that we were given, which said we had to be innovative, we had to do things differently. And I often say, not everything in education needs to be thrown out. We've kept, we've kept the good things, but we've innovated and looked at what we call next practice rather than best practice.
For me, it's about it's the lifetime journey. It's to sort of think about what do we really want for our schools, and then how do we get there. And I think my role has always been to think about how do we actually do this work. It's not a mystery, and teachers need support, more support than I even knew when I was a principal. When I was at the ministry, I had no idea really until I started the Learner First, the depth of what teachers actually need to walk a different pathway.
I'm a very strong believer in the importance of building values into what you do in a school. And so we'd gone out to our community and said, what values do you want to see in our students? And the bold, resilient, and kind have been so important because we were being bold and, not only in the building, but in terms of what we were doing. But I think the connection that came was the day that we met with you when we met with the Assistant Regional Director, and you made a comment that what we should be doing is creating an environment for students to be good at learning and good at life. And I clearly remember, I think, looking at Nathan and Callie and saying, that's it, that's what we want. And
for me, that I remember that moment was something we could actually say, well, our vision is the community of agile learners, and our purpose is that community where we're all good at learning and good at life.
The ATAR score is just a number. And it'll become completely irrelevant in 12 months. But if they're good at learning and good at life, that will see them through for the rest of their life. And I think that was the connection point for us, was realising that this was a whole philosophy built around not just recognising success academically, but success in creating good people.
And if you think about what your vision is and what the Learner First, what we sort of talk about with contributive learning, where do you think that matches? Is there anything in particular? What is it that struck you that it was similar to what you were trying to do?
And our focus was always on engagement and getting students to come to school every day and to love learning.
Got me thinking at the time around people, partnerships in place, and how are we going to create this new community?
And the vision that you need to have around looking after kids and your people, that we have got these amazing facilities, but without the people, without the students and without the staff, they're just lovely buildings.
Our strategic plan has students at the centre. That's shown in everything we do.
I think one of the pieces of work that we've tried really hard with staff is around vulnerability and admitting that you don't know what you don't know.
Challenge to odds to actually say you don't have a particular title, you're a head of department here, allows us to constantly challenge those mindsets so that they can actually be thinking about more than a traditional learning area perspective.
I think for some people that's too hard, and it's too hard to come and say, yeah, I can see this, I'm stuck and I don't know what to do next. The easy thing is to take a different pathway and to go back to what you know. And we're a part of a system, so we do need to continue to be part of that and take teachers on transfer, but we're also really upfront that we do things differently. And if you come in here, that's part of being being a member of our school. You're not just preparing them for an exam at the end of the unit or an assignment where every student has to do the same assignment. And
learning unit plans were built around agency, accessibility, and agility, which we got a lot from the learner first model, and the mixed method assessment was a way for us to actually make sure that happened in reality. Really encapture that agility and agency and tie back into that authentic mixed method approach that's really sung positively from parents and students. They really appreciate the opportunities, and they really are able to articulate the success of those approaches in their own way. The proof has been in the pudding now. We have regular feedback from families and students, and verified by external parties like through a school review, that those processes are actually working. And
my advice for principals is don't think that because you're doing all these great things, and we all are, there's great pockets in every school, don't think that you can tick the box on something even if you think your staff have mastered it, because I think they'd mastered it and then they took another step up. And
whenever I work with principals who have that deep, intense belief about what humanity can be, there's a big difference between doing a job and living a life. And it's like you're good at life, and that's what's helped you do what you're doing. And that just reminds me of that. So I feel privileged that I've been able to walk with you and be a part of your world. And I also feel like thank you, because you've shown too that a school like yours in the middle of the city can do this work and in a beautiful way. Ngā mihi nui ki a koe. That means thank you very much.